talk about Batman. All right. So, Batman, The Long Halloween. We did. We checked it out, and it does a really good job of coming close to the comic book, the graphic novel. I really enjoyed the art design. I think if you really look at it, they did sort of capture that feeling that you get from um, the original the original Batman the animated series. I don't know if you know how they did that, but like they basically colored that series on a black sheet of paper instead of white to give it a very dark feel. And it was a new technique that they used, and I feel like they tried to do that with the background. Even though it's digital, it still felt that way. And then they like put the characters on top of it with a completely different feel. They almost look like Archer from that cartoon Archer.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, because they had one that came out called Justice League World War II, and it didn't. It looked weird with the way that they did the animation, and maybe because it was in the daytime, but because the shading and the light in this movie was so dark, it kind of hid a lot of those imperfections, and I feel like it helped make up for that. Like that made it look better to me because since they announced they were changing their animation styles, I was not excited about it, and I'm still not excited about it. But I do think that the Batman Long Halloween Part One is one of those that could be one of the best Batman animated films that they've made. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 9.0, I believe, on IMDb. It is everywhere. It is getting rave reviews. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely say go out and check it out. You can buy it on Blu-ray. You can rent it and stream it because Part Two will be coming out July 27th.
Yeah, so that's a good thing too. Like, first off, check it out. We talked about DC putting the stories to the people in a way that's always dynamic, it's always great. There's a reason why this Batman movie is gonna be higher rated than action films too. Like this cartoon, the source material is so good. It's already there. You're just adapting it, and it's already amazing. So they tell amazing stories, so you're gonna get an amazing movie. It's just how does it feel when you get the actors involved? And so one of the biggest issues that I had starting off, well, not issue, but I was just afraid. I was
You were,
afraid of Jensen
you were.
Ackles as Batman because when he talks, he doesn't sound like Batman. But I'll say this: when he started to speak as Bruce Wayne, I was like, okay, okay, he's got a good Bruce Wayne voice. It doesn't sound like the way he normally talks. He actually acted the part, and he nailed it. I think he nailed Bruce Wayne amazingly. It sounds so familiar to me when he's talking as Bruce Wayne, and that's what I need. I don't need you to sound like Kevin Conroy. I don't need you to sound like the Batman with the bad blood. I don't need you to sound like that.
What's his name? Jason O'Mara, Jason O'Mara.
Yes, I don't need you to sound exactly like that. They don't sound the same, but they have a certain way that they are with Bruce Wayne that you feel like, all right, here's the billionaire philanthropist. You know, I'm supposed to kind of be on top of everything, but not really. And then, when he talks to Alfred, it's almost Batman, but he's still Bruce. Like that's a serious thing. Like you have to play Batman, you have to be able to play Bruce Wayne and play Batman. And
Well, I would say Jensen Ackles, he deserves this. He grew up, not necessarily grew up, but he played the Red Hood, and under the Red Hood, he was Jason Todd. So I feel like, in all honesty, this is an honor for him to play Batman. This is more of passing down the cow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was part of the Bat family. But yeah, no, he did a great job. And then, as Batman, his voice is good too. I think he does a better job as Bruce Wayne than he does as Batman. But it grew on me, and I stopped thinking about it,
Yeah.
which is good. When you're playing the character Batman, I don't want to be like, oh, but you don't sound like Batman. You don't sound like Batman. Because what does Batman really sound like? He sounds like Kevin Conroy. Everybody knows that. He sounds like Kevin Conroy, but we accept all the movie iterations of Batman, including Christian Bale's raspy Batman.
Swear to me.
And I think one of the most underrated Batman voices was RoboCop. That that was an awesome Batman voice. But yeah, no, he did a great job. I just think it was weird when you get Gordon in the scene with him because I feel like when Gordon talks, he sounds more like Batman than he did in those moments. Like he's playing Gordon with a Batman voice, and I didn't necessarily like that part just because I'm comparing the voices at that point. But he still did a great job, and I liked him as Gordon. I think it's just kind of like when I'm listening to voices,
Yeah.
I can hear all the little distinctions, and I felt like if I closed my eyes, I wasn't sure if it was Batman talking or Gordon.
Which is definitely understandable, but we do got to realize that this, even though Jensen Ackles is a little older, this is still technically Batman within his first few years. So he's not gonna have as much as a raspy voice as he will later on in his career. And that's what I'm taking from that. But again, regardless of the voice and all that, I mean, it's so close to the comic that it's hard to be like, I hate this.
Sean said that he's laughing because he said Batman Ninja just looks anime, and that the voice actor that played Batman from Harley Quinn show should be the voice actor.
Oh boy, from the Drew Carey show.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I could take him seriously as Batman. He was funny though. He was funny.
I mean, but with the Dark Knight Long Halloween, this also is the last role that Naya Rivera actually got to participate in, and she does amazing as Catwoman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking, I she sounds spitting image of any Catwoman you've ever heard. Like she is now and forever will be around the lineup of Catwomen. Um, I think for her last role, that for her to be on something as big as this, it's awesome. And she's gonna have a bigger role in the second one. And I really just I hope this gives people peace with her passing because this is that she does amazing. She does really good.
Yeah, she does amazing. Sean says she sounds sexy. That's true. That I used to see, Glee back in the day. He said he wants her to read him a bedtime story. Yeah, I mean she can put anybody to sleep. But yeah, the used to watch Glee back in the day. That's the only place I really know her from. And then she passed away, tragic accident, and I didn't even realize that she was in the movie until I was looking at the cast. Because while I've been expecting a long Halloween, I didn't really look deep into it because with the pandemic stuff, I've tried not to get too hyped over stuff, so I just like let things happen organically. And then here I am watching the movie, and it's Naya Rivera, and I'm like, man, okay, how's she finna be as Catwoman? And I mean, she nailed it, like you said. She did a great job, and her character style. I do really like the way they designed her as Catwoman in the movie, and
Hmm.
then her voice just fits. Her voice just fits.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
But I do want to say, I liked Harvey in the movie a lot. I liked Harvey Dent in the movie a lot, but some of the animation on him was a little weird at certain scenes. But that's what kind of took me out of the Harvey Dent character was certain scenes his animation looked off. But what I really liked about the Harvey Dent character in the movie is those seeds that they placed. Just like in the comic book, just those little seeds here and there of how he's going to become Two-Face. Just kind of Gordon had a little part in it, and Batman had a little part in it, and Maroni had a little part in it, and Falcone had a. It's just it's all building up to finally getting Two-Face. And we all know the story. We all know what he's gonna end up becoming. But it's still kind of cool to see it play out live and just be like, man, Gordon kind of had something to do with it. And
Yep.
Bruce kind of had something to do with the shit.
Oh yeah, he always does, and yeah, I mean, he gave him the damn coin.
And then
He
Gordon
make
gave
his
him the
own luck.
gun.
Make his own luck. Gordon gives him the gun. I think it's definitely a setup for that. George Clooney burned it with coffee. No,
Hey,
that was
George Clooney.
Val Kilmer was in his Batman suit in Batman Forever in the courthouse for no reason. Like he got the acid sprayed on him and he just jumps up.
Batman in daytime in
Like
a suit.
what? Anyway, uh, they should have put him in a suit like Harvey Birdman. That would have been even better. Um, but no, yeah, they build up Harvey's character really well. The story's very good. I don't want to spoil it. We won't talk about who is the calendar killer or the holiday killer. We won't talk about that. You can read the comic. I mean, if you know that, then you know who it is. But we're not going to spoil it for the movie. When the second part comes out, we'll talk about it and just discuss all that. But what I do like here is the character arcs are done really well. This is Batman, like you said, in year two time frame, very young Batman, and he's a vigilante who just trying to stop crimes, and he knows that the crime world is ran by Falcone, and he doesn't like that Falcone was friends with his daddy, Thomas Wayne, and there's it's all built into there because he's the biggest family in Gotham. And
Yeah.
the Waynes were the other biggest family in Gotham, and he doesn't like that connection to crime being so close. But that's what makes Batman who he is. He's always the other side of the coin to all the crimes that are happening, and all the
Unintended.
characters. Yeah, pun intended. Yes, sure. It's double-headed coin. Um, but what I really like is that you see here's Batman trying to solve the mystery, and he's not very good at it yet.
It's not. That's what makes this. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. He struggles. He's actually struggling becoming the world's greatest detective. He literally says, "I thought Batman was just supposed to take criminals off the street. I did not expect him to become a good detective."
Right, exactly. Everything's been easy so far, but now you have to become a detective to solve this damn mystery, this serial killer who's on the loose, and Batman throughout the movie is getting clues and context, and he's setting up. Here's my suspects, and he's like, you know what? I'm still not sold on this. And then when he finally decides on a suspect, the movie keeps going, and you're just like, wow, part two is gonna be brilliant. And I mean, that's how it works in the damn movie. So I mean, in the comics, so we're in for a treat. If this one was so good, that was just the first half. That was
Yeah,
just the first half.
I need this next one to be about 2 hours. I kind of felt this one was it an hour and 40 minutes. Give me like 15 more minutes, and I'm good. It's that good. Like I literally wanted more. Like when it ended and like it just the credits rolled, I was like, no, no, come back, give me more.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a great stopping point. It is exactly what it needed to be. You leave off, Batman not sure about anything anymore.
But here's a good marketing scheme. Like you said, it leaves off Batman doesn't know anything. regardless that mean you read the comic, still it feels like you're within the story because the calendar killer takes a month in between to for its next kill. The next part comes out in a month. So we're in Batman's shoes with him waiting for the next month.
Yeah, to see who's gonna be the next victim because at this point I don't know who it is.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think when y'all who don't know the story, y'all be blown away about who the revelation is, who ultimately is the killer. I'm excited to see, what people think as far as that. If y'all don't want to look it up and spoil it for yourself, who do you think it is? That's what makes it fun. You're like you said, we're in the story, we're on a journey, and man, they did a freaking
If,
awesome job.
if you try to be sneaky and look it up, it will not actually tell you who the killer is. So you just need to read it or watch the movie. I'll give that to you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, it'll tell you the wrong killer on purpose.
that is beautiful. The story, this story is just, it's got a lot. It's got a lot to give. We get so many different iterations of Batman, and the reason for that is because he's so damn dynamic. There's something to him. He's not just a superhero with powers who goes uses superpowers for this stuff. He has to grow to
Mhm.
overcome everything that he faces, and he's a human like any one of us. But
He's still a
ultimately,
kid. He's
ultimately, he's the smartest.
in a sense, and I'm not trying to be like he's a kid, but in a sense, if this is Batman's around his first few years, he's like 20 something. He's still a fucking kid, like learning this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a good segue. Sean said he just got finished watching Justice League Dark, and he said Batman in that movie's awesome. He's amazing. Yeah, I mean
It's a great movie.
that's Batman at his highest peak potential. He's the fucking most brilliant person on the planet. He's learned everything that he needs to learn. He's able to fight alongside of the Justice League, and that's even
Mhm.
further.
And he's conquered fatherhood,
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. He's had Damien as his son, and we kind of we've talked about it, you and I, but we hadn't really talked about it on show. Batman basically tells him, hey, you step to me, bro. Like every time I've always taken it easy on you. Let me just show you what I really am, and starts whooping his ass. That's what makes Batman amazing. It's like, dude, like it doesn't matter who you are. I can get you because
Yeah,
y'all can't get me.
that's
Y'all,
the thing. People think Batman they're like with preparation time. I'm like, bro, the dude's literally prepared for anything at all times. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. He's so paranoid.
always.
Everything's preparation time. That's a part of his skills.
Yeah, it is definitely it's a fun ride to be with Batman. You can come out with 1,000 Batman movies, and I'm always gonna be down for it.
Yeah, definitely. And Sean, thank you for bringing up Dark Knight Apocalypse because I mean, Justice League Apocalypse Dark. It is one of the best DC animated films of all time. I honestly tear up at the end because that's how superhero movies should end with a glimmer of light and to show that hope. That's what DC stands for. And I hate Superman, but the whole S on the chest is a symbol of hope. That's what DC is. They don't have to win, but there has to be that little shining glimpse of hope to bring them forward, and that's why they strive.
Right? It's like, well, we stopped everything. I mean, we gave everything too, and now we're just gonna try to fix it because that's the whole point. Gotta stop them fools from taking over.
Uh-huh. But Matador, that is definitely our show today. I had a good time coming out talking with you about all these trailers and The Dark Knight or Batman Long Halloween. I do want to apologize to everybody for the misunderstanding halfway through, but we're gonna get things right.
Yeah, every week we come together, and I'm learning new things about what I'm doing. Let's just be real. I'm an amateur at all of this stuff. I'm beginner. And so when we have technical difficulties, y'all just you stick with us, and we'll try to make it right, learn from those mistakes. But yeah, appreciate the feedback from everybody who was able to join the show. We'll definitely, I'll try to cut something up for YouTube, so at least salvage the first half, or we'll just end up cutting it and just make this a long Halloween podcast. That's perfectly fine too. We talked about them trailers, and I think that's going to be fun. It's always good to have something to look forward to. Next week when we come together, we'll try to see what else we can talk about.
I got you, Matador. Let's just go ahead and plan it now. We're gonna do an obscure movie next week for everybody. We're gonna do
Obscure.
a new horror film called Censored. And we're going to watch that and we're going to review it and see what happens.
Censored. Who's in it and what's it about?
I have no idea. It just popped up on it popped up. We're going to watch it. I'm calling it now.
Sean said we should do Road Trip. I'm all for doing some classic movies. We have to deep dive on some other things. We're just trying to get a handle of, content and getting this show running properly. But we're trying to give time to these new things that come out. But there's definitely a ton of older movies that we can go off of, especially classic horror movies. We kind of try to get back into that zone. It's our favorite spot to be in, is horror films.
That's our favorite subject.
So next week it'll be fun. We'll check this movie out, Censored. I have not heard of it, so I'll have to do some research and kind of see where it's at. Where can I watch this, sir?
I'll get with you after the show.
All right. Well, we watch Shudder all the time. Good call out, Sean.
That's right. Shudder, baby.
Shudder subscriptions are amazing. Everything that is on that is pretty damn good. Highly recommend The Last Drive-In. That show right there gives you all the horror movies you want to watch and gives you great explanations. It's great.
Don, you should go check out Hellgasm on Shudder.
Yeah,
Amazing
you'll like
movie.
that one. Yeah, you'll like that one for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just gonna wrap up. If y'all could please like and subscribe to our videos. You can find us on the Twitter. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on Instagram at retro_detro, and on Twitch Matador_Gabe. And you can always check our your camera ran out, so that's the end of the show. Your battery is dead. Your battery is dead.
I'm dying.
We did it. But all right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Much love. We will catch y'all on the flip.